So once again, no yellow shirt. Hopefully that's
But I
okay.
appreciate your awareness of the situation, truly do.
But repping Martha's Vineyard, little offshore ale.
Nice, excellent. All righty, I'd like to call to order the Katuitt Fire District Board of Fire Commissioners meeting August 8th, 2023, 17:30. Present.
Commissioner Zace.
Commissioner Pisano.
Commissioner Conley.
Chief Brown?
Deputy Clerk.
Excellent. Chief, do we have anybody recording? We're recording. Do we have anybody recording?
Yes, sir, we are recording and in regards to comments,
Are there any public comments?
we have nothing in the chat and we have no emails and
Okay, with that, I'd like to minutes. Rick, did you have a chance to take a look at the minutes?
I did. I had no problem with them as they are.
Excellent. Commissioner Zace?
Yes, I did.
Did I get my camera working, by the way?
Yes,
Okay, good, thank you.
you did. You got it.
so many. You were gonna say.
Got it when I said no.
And I did not, nothing jumped out of this. I only literally just read them. Okay, while I was here.
Yes.
it's out.
Okay, so we have no issue. I had no issues with the minutes either. Do we have a motion?
Motion to accept the minutes of the last meeting as presented.
Okay, all those in favor?
Pisano.
Conley. All righty, minutes are accepted. Thank you, gentlemen. Chief, you are up.
All right, good evening. The chief's report for August 8th, 2023. The month of July had 87 responses. We had 2 fire responses, 54 rescue EMS, 2 hazardous condition, 6 service calls, 10 good intent, 13 false alarms, and again, our call overlap stays steady at 10%. And with that, I believe there was a request with some additional detail on the overlapping calls. So Deputy Clark put together a report that's in your folder for you with a little explanation on those. And if you would like, he can explain a little bit more on those.
If you would, could you just give us a high, I'm looking at the document now, so.
Yeah, so there was 5 incidents or 5 different dates where there were overlapping calls, and they were all involved our units being committed on EMS calls. 3 of them were additional EMS calls that were handled by our mutual aid partners. Twice we relied on Centerville, once we relied on Mashpee. And then 2 other times they were automatic fire alarm activations, and those 2 were handled by our recall standby crews.
Okay. This is great, guys. Thank you.
Great information, thank you.
All right. Any questions, additional questions under response?
No,
Okay. Now I can, as far,
Actually, Chief, let me back up 1 second. On the fires, what type of fires were these?
these were both grill fires, actually.
Oh, grill fires.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. I did have, and I can save it for old business if you want, there was at the last meeting, a question in regards to walk-ins. I can cover that under responses now, or,
Please
okay. So there was a question in regards to how often we get walk-ins at the firehouse, and so Deputy Clark ran that report out of Image Trend, and he has that information. Deputy,
Did we have that in the folder, Deputy?
No, we
Okay.
just ran that this afternoon.
That's cool.
Over the last year, we had 24 station walk-ins where people required EMS intervention or evaluation. 3 of those were transported to the hospital by our ambulance. The other 21 were treated at the firehouse and then refused transport. And it's important that these 24 incidents were calls that were people that walked into the firehouse and required aid from our EMS providers. It doesn't necessarily include blood pressure checks and, just people coming in and not feeling, for a quick checkup.
Right, so yeah, I missed the time frame. What was that? What was the
The
time?
last 12 months.
Last 12 months, okay. And it does not require, we do not document in any way blood pressure checks and just,
We do have a way of documenting that, and we can run that.
I personally think that'd be interesting to add into that conversation.
We can do
I'm
it.
not looking to create extra work, frankly,
No, it's all good.
but if it's in there, let's press the button and see what that is.
Yeah.
Please.
Those should show up on the activity reports.
No, I don't know if the activity
Okay,
reports in
all
there.
right. Okay, yeah, we do track that information. It's just it doesn't generate a
Yeah.
patient care report, which
No, I got you.
So yeah, these 24 created patient care reports, but we can easily run a query on blood pressure
Okay.
checks and add that into there.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I think that'd be interesting.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So these walk-ins.
Yep.
Are they literally outside the scope of like someone calling?
They literally,
So they don't call 911?
no, they literally walk in, they
They
ring the
just literally walk
doorbell.
in. So they're not counted, they're not double counted.
Nope. Nope.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's just literally, okay.
Yeah.
walking.
Yeah,
So it's
these
2 a month?
reports were pulled based on incident address, which is 64 High Street. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 a month.
2 months, the deputy's gonna pull how many.
Yeah, we'll get
walk-ins
to the-
for blood pressure.
Yeah, we can get
His
that.
blood pressure's not included in that, or simple medical questions that don't generate. a
Yep.
report. So we're gonna try to capture that as well, correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
okay. All right. So any other questions under responses?
I do not, chief.
Okay. Under administration, last month, Chief Brown participated at the library strategic planning group meeting, which was a really great experience to get out there and talk about the future of the library, both as somebody that lives here and utilizes the library, but also as how the fire department can collaborate on programs with the library in the future. Chief, I also presented at the annual MEMA Hurricane Preparedness Symposium that was held for emergency managers at Mass Maritime Academy last month, and presented on rescue responses to hurricanes. Deputy Chief Clark and myself participated in the library cornhole tournament.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, I did not fare so well.
Well, that's the question.
Not great for me. The deputy, however, really represented well.
Yes.
Well,
So-
you were part of a team, the 2 years were together as a team?
So-
We were in 2 different teams.
Yeah,
Oh.
it was two father-son teams.
Oh, I got you.
So, yeah,
Gotcha. And how far did you get, deputy?
My son and I got to the final 4.
Oh,
I think there was 52 teams, maybe 50 something teams. To that effect.
very cool.
Yeah, it was a good night.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
We know what you do on weekends now.
and then I think I actually had my daughter in there for a little while, then my wife, and so I think my partner rotated positions. So
Well, I
but it was
think-
a great evening.
I
So
think the message here is that you need to practice.
yes, yes, this is true.
My son and I had
I'd
to
like to see
eliminate
this on
the fire
training
chief.
report.
So
We see this on the training report.
yes. So, right, yeah.
Public
So,
relations.
right. I will like it. Any other questions under administration? So, seeing none under technology, the Azure transition is going to start next week. We're not going to be able to do the full package like we originally wanted to as far as hardware upgrades, but we are going to start transitioning to individual logins with multi-factor authentication and passwords that have to be reset periodically and just work a little bit towards improving our IT security.
So Chief, back up for a second. What are we not going to be able to do that you said?
We need, so as you recall, I attempted to do the project and as a capital project, implement the full Azure, do the hardware upgrades and everything that we need to do. We're not gonna be able to get, we'll probably be short a couple computers for a while.
Okay.
And then if I can find the money in the IT budget, I'll have to figure out a way to do that, but we're going to incrementally move towards improving that IT security because it really is, can't wait any longer.
All right, let's put that on the list for you and I to discuss next time we connect with you.
Okay,
You can I go back to administration for a second.
yes, sir.
In all seriousness, so a while back, we talked about call it an initiative or not, but an effort to really review all the guidelines and procedures.
Mhm.
Adam, could you speak up, please?
There, a while back, we've been talking about all the SOGs and SOPs and reviewing them, and I was just wondering if you could give us, how far are you through that? Is it 10%, 90%, 50%, 0%?
It's not 0%.
It's definitely not zero, but I would say,
I think we're on average reviewing and republishing 3 to 4 months.
yeah, so I'm trying to think of a way to put
Yeah.
quantify it, and maybe 5%. So, yeah,
So it's
and
still an ongoing, it's an ongoing.
oh, yeah, and then when you're done, you're back right where you started off and kind of reviewing them. So it's
Okay.
somewhat of a perpetual cycle, but you know, I think everything that we're doing has it's a lot of buy-in, a lot of kind of stakeholder contributions to the effort, and I think the products that we're producing are very good and have a lot of support and
Because we haven't seen one that you've brought forward to us.
Yeah,
To say,
yeah.
This is a problem. And so, I mean, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Actually, that we're not seeing that level of. So
Yeah.
it's just a matter of, okay, let's bought into this, we can continue to roll
Yeah.
through these. As,
sure, I can add them to the folders and
sorry.
no problem. So additionally under technology, image trend modules. So we're gonna push that off a month. We were gonna bring forward a request to add some of the modules onto image trend, which is our currently our RMS our records management system that we use for patient care reports and fire incident reports. And then using it and to expand the data collection capabilities. Not quite ready to have that conversation yet, but next month you'll see that back on the agenda. Any other questions on the technology? Personnel, so we'll have a promotion and swearing in ceremony to be held Friday, August 11th. This coming Friday at 1 p.m. at the firehouse. Invitations went out to the Board of Commissioners, Prudential Committee, and then anybody from the public that would like to attend is more than welcome. Deputy Chief Clark was accepted into the Chief Fire Officer Management Training Program. And Deputy, you want to tell the board what that is?
Yeah, so this is it's a training program sponsored by the Massachusetts Fire Academy in partnership with the University of Massachusetts Center for Public Management. The goal of the program is to prepare chief officers in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to be executive leaders within the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. The topics they include planning and budgeting, grant writing, policy development, legal issues within the Commonwealth, labor management, strategic planning, human resources management, and intergovernmental relations. It's a 98-hour class in person, and then there's I think 6 or 7 research written projects that you have to do and submit to the program. And they accept 30 chief officers into the program every year, and I was privileged to get accepted into this program this year. I think that, you know, this program will certainly benefit the fire district and the administration and the leadership and help us, you know, to Adam's point, help with our policy development and help with our budgeting and our plan, future strategic planning, and will eventually help us, you know, continue to produce a good product out of the firehouse.
So Deputy, how long is the program? 1-year program?
Nope, it's 98 hours. It starts in September and it runs through the end of January.
Okay, 98 hours to the end of January.
Yeah, it's every Tuesday, 8 to 4, most Tuesdays, 8 to 4 from the beginning of September to like the middle of January, I think.
And is that on site? Is that
That's on the
Zoom?
Mass Fire Academy.
Mass Fire Academy, which is
Stowe?
still, okay. Alrighty,
So the deputy will be zooming in many of our meetings while that program is ongoing.
understood.
So,
Yeah, many of the speakers are from UMass, from their School of Public Management, you know, chief officers in the Commonwealth. politicians, and people that help run municipal government in the Commonwealth.
Okay, great. Sounds like a hell of an opportunity.
Thank you, Deputy. Captain Amento is attending juvenile fire setter intervention training currently. Firefighter Lee just recently completed his now a rescue diver certification.
Great.
And we received a thank you letter from Santuit Civic Association for the assistance during the July 4th parade. That completes the personnel section. Any questions under personnel?
Not me.
Even a fire setter, I skipped over the word intervention, but I had to read it.
Yes,
Oh, wow.
right. Yes, we're trying to interview, right? So, well, some of them know how to do that all too well, and yes, so hopefully this will
Where is
help
that?
prevent that.
Is that here on the Cape or is that also in the fire academy?
I believe that is in is that one in Franklin?
I believe so.
I think that's in Franklin. Apparatus and equipment, the breaker is currently being housed at JBCC per the vote of the board. It's temporarily rehomed there pending a special meeting, which will determine a final disposition for it if we're able to transfer that title over there based on whenever we have that warrant presented. Shared ambulance, was hoping to have it already, but we don't, still having some maintenance items addressed on it. Again, it's punch list stuff. And but just, I feel like I've been saying that forever, but just to prove that it does actually exist, in the report I gave you a couple pictures of it, because it is lettered up and pretty much already, once those few maintenance items are completed. And when we do get it, we'll do a small signing and service ceremony with Sandwich and Chief Burke and the board and some of the elected officials from Sandwich that also made this possible. So,
Chief, do you mind sharing real quick on the screen that document? Just the image of it?
yes, no
Because
problem.
I really thought the decals came out nicely.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'd like to have it, it's part of the meeting, as people
Huh.
zoom in for it at some point or watch it.
To the sandwich.
Oh,
That's the culprit.
let's see if I can get this. Okay, so I am going to attempt to share my screen, and hopefully I don't. I'm just gonna, you know what, I'm gonna download it and open it so that I can then zoom in here.
Yeah, just like that's fine.
And I'm gonna share the screen and. Okay. All right. Commissioner Pisano and Dave, okay, I see a thumbs up from Dave. We can see, we can.
Yeah, it looks really good.
So the graphics there, and for us, it'll be ambulance 275, and for Sandwich, it'll be ambulance 5.
Registrations with dispatch have been completed.
Yeah, it's still, some of these things are ongoing, but I mean, it's really just a keying up the mic and telling them that it's us, so.
Okay, thank you. Just wanted
Yep.
to- Thought it'd be worthwhile for people to have
Yes.
access to that. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Right,
Facilities maybe? No. Equipment?
under facility, any other questions under apparatus and equipment?
Yeah, I'd already asked you about the boat. How long will it be out of service?
Hopefully just a few more days. Yeah, it went over there, they went to try to fix it. Then when they figured out what it was, then we tried to chase down, it was the radar, then we tried to chase down to see if there's any options for warranty. So that took a couple days to go through all kinds of files and it was determined that it's not a warranty item. So we'll have the radar replaced and it should be back in service shortly.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Facilities, the Plimo vent was installed for 260 down in the basement. And that's now in service and active. And with that, that ends the chief's report for August 8th, 2023, pending any questions of the board.
One question I had is with today's, it was 4 inches of rain. in that. Were there any leaks in the house anywhere?
In the firehouse, a little bit of water coming in through the bottom bay doors, but nothing
Okay, so nothing-
significant.
it was-
Yeah, which is not as, no, we can't say that for everybody in the community because we did respond to a number of calls with some significant flooding issues. So,
yeah.
Okay,
Good there?
yes, sir.
Okay. Old business subcommittee reports. Adam, do you have something to still?
I do, well, honestly.
No, I get that. I
But
didn't know.
there's nothing to report. As I deputy, you can corroborate that the tank's been removed. and
It
that's-
has been removed.
Yeah, so that's.
Okay.
The
Okay,
soil,
great.
the soil was tested, it's clean,
Yep.
so that part of the project's done.
Okay. Commissioner Pisano, do you have anything for your committee, sir?
No, sir. We have not held a meeting and I have not had any contact with the chair.
All righty. Appreciate it.
Okay, I just had a couple of other old business.
Okay, well, we, good. Let's hit those. What do you have? Yes.
Just a couple of old business items, follow-ups from the last meeting that we had. There was a question on the lot size, which I told you I'd report back to you. So 64 High Street, the location of the current firehouse is 0.4 acres. The adjacent lot at 56 High Street is 0.27 acres. For if the lots are able to be combined for a total of 0.67 acres, according, and this is according to the assessing site for the town. I was also asked to add the water capture system into the slide deck for the presentation, and that is completed as well. It's just two edits to 2 slides and one additional slide added to that slide deck, and that is available for review now if you want, or it can be for the meeting on the 15th.
Could you just probably send out that deck
Yes, I
to the
can.
commissioners?
Yep, yeah,
Review?
again,
Okay with
yeah.
you guys?
Yeah,
No problem.
so I was just, thank you for that. I was just trying to get a sense of relative dimensions of the building that might be, whatever it's going to be compared to what's available. Thank you for that. It's
Yeah.
helpful.
No problem. And then from the July meeting, there was a question on the reimbursements from the Joint Base Cape Cod EMS details, and those do go back to the FD budget. We worked with Ray and Lisa to add a reimbursement revenue line and a reimbursed overtime expenditure line so that there's a direct correlation to money out for reimbursed activities and money in for reimbursed activities within the fire department budget now. And
Excellent.
so, and that is all I had for
Okay.
whole business.
Thank you. So the old business I'd like to bring up is the reference to needs assessment work that we've been doing. Conversation I've had with Catalyst and the document that I sent to you gentlemen, the deputy as well. Chief has that document as well. Did you have a chance to take a look at that, Rick?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so let me step back for a second and say, to me, that's obviously preliminary. We haven't agreed to anything and we have not, even given a thought process that we made. So if there is tweaks under the covers in that, we can look at that. What I'd like to discuss tonight is So the possibility exists that we could leverage this particular, conceptual design study to take a look at the two sites, to understand, obviously size of the lot matters quite a bit. To see if we're able to leverage the two sites to combine to create a new station to meet our needs, to meet the village needs. And to keep those two stations, keep the primary station operational while we, get one going and then do a move over and so forth. The cost on this, I believe, and I have in the back, is $27,000, I believe, in total. There is funding available. The Prudential Committee does have funding still in the original warrant that they had done the work for the needs assessment or the village needs assessment work that had been previously done. So bottom line, if we can have whatever conversation we want, I would like to get concurrence from you all that we should go to the committee, right? I have talked to Ray about this. The Prudential Committee, thank you. I have talked to Ray about this, and conceptually, he thinks we would be within boundaries from a legality point of view. If you all are in agreement that it makes sense to try to move this conversation forward and get this study done under that previous warrant, I will go to legal and have a conversation with legal and verify with them that we would be within legal terms to do that. And then from there, I would like to go to the Prudential Committee and let the Prudential Committee know that we would like to access $27,000 of those funds to do this conceptual design for the Couture Fire District. With that, I'll take a breath and open it up for conversation.
I think it's time to do this. Do you have any idea, did Ray give you any idea of what monies are left in that warrant?
Yeah, there's 40, I think it's 42 or 46,000, whatever it is, there is enough to cover this particular cost.
Yeah, I think it behooves us to push forward on this. I do, however, have a nit about what they're going to deliver.
Okay.
So we should do exactly what we said. We should initiate that effort.
Yep. And so let's hold that right there for 1 second. Rick, what are your thoughts relative to this conversation at that level?
I am fully in favor of proceeding as you described to try to access the money necessary for this and get it started as soon as possible. The larger warrant funds from the more recent warrant for an examination of the school property would come up in our case for those funds to be directed to look at the alternate possibility of the cost of rehabbing on that site. Then we would actually have data side by side to compare the two projects in terms of cost effectiveness.
Right.
But
So
as a first step, I think getting this started is excellent. I also had a follow-up question though about it, but Adam was in the middle of.
right. So I wanted to take this in a couple different pieces, right? Maybe if I could first make a comment on how you position that. I'm with you 100%. The only comment I'd make is, we need to move forward ourselves independent of whatever that other warrant is going to bring. If the village decides to execute that warrant and take a look at the overall needs of the village, I think that would be a good thing for the village to do. However, we can't wait for that to happen, so we need to move forward and look at this, in my opinion.
I agree completely.
Okay, now, that being said, do we have a nit relative to what, what do you have?
And then in the phase 2 deliverables,
Yes,
the
sir.
anticipated deliverables, they mentioned number 1, conceptual and schematic design drawing, and 2, meeting notes. But if you look at what they're going to do in phase 2, they do say, I'm not exactly sure, I'd like clarity on what this means. Assist only on contractor / estimator with conceptual level construction cost estimates and project plan. I'm hoping that means that one of the deliverables, while not detailed and specific, would give us some kind of
Yes.
ballpark understanding of, okay, if you have these conceptual schematic design plans, it's probably going to be a lot of dollars.
Yes, based on that, I agree with you. I would assume
So
that.
I would want that added to the deliverables, that it's some sort of.
Right, so are you referencing specifically 2.03? Right, so, and I will clarify that, and if there's additional, when we get there to do that, I think we actually had that conversation. I read that as delivering exactly what you said.
Yeah, but I'm not exactly sure. of that.
No, I know, I got you, so we have to clarify, I'm with you, absolutely, so we're in absolute line there. Rick, what did you have, sir?
Well, as I further read into the proposal, it seems that they're looking to operate as the project manager for this. I mean, the last quarter third of it seems to reference their role in well, operating as a project manager and in an actual construction capacity. And that seemed, well, while it would certainly be necessary to have a project manager on it, did I understand it correctly that that's not included in the cost estimate that been provided?
That's correct. If you look at the last page of the document, I believe it's the second to last page, you'll see that it's referencing phases 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So I believe what they're doing, and I have not talked to Catherine about this. I will talk to her, but to clarify a few things. You know, as I read that was their indication of how they would move forward and what the steps would be moving forward. In my opinion, what we would do is get this conceptual design done, right? And at that point, once we have the conceptual design, I would think we'd go out to bid for who's going to do the project management, who's going to do the next steps. Because that becomes a different warrant, different dollar amount. I think they're just giving us an insight as to how they would handle things going forward, which we actually asked them to do. We asked, give us an idea on what the whole project would look like.
So I have some experience. I've been working on a number of projects at a commercial building where the architect is also the builder. Now, that's not the case here, but I can tell you that it's very helpful to have the architect as part of the project management team or person, even if it's the project manager. It's I have in my recent experience, that's a good thing. Now, it's excluded at this point because it's not part of any sort of proposal they made. So who knows where it's going to end in terms of cost.
Right, and I do think we'll be leveraging that experience that you have and that we all have in what we do, and the chief obviously has been taking a good look at some of the other recently built firehouses in the Commonwealth of Mass, right, to get a little bit more experience and insight into what those costs are. So I do think all those conversations will be great conversations when it's the right time to have this conversation. So great point.
Any building is going to have, but to have someone that, in addition to or someone that is really very, very focused on the deliverable of the design is an important element in my experience.
With you 100%. All right, Rick, any other thoughts?
No.
Okay. Do we think we need a motion for this, or do we? And I'm happy to have one. Maybe we just do a motion just to have it on the record. You go with that?
A motion to the point of what? Actually hiring them?
No, goodness, no.
So I think what the chairman is asking for is that would either of us put forward a motion to essentially let him get going on the plan that he, so it's really a motion about doing the plan. Right. The plan being to talk to legal, talk to prudential, et cetera, to understand, do we fit within the four corners of what has previously been voted on by the district voters.
And I frankly don't know that it needs a motion, but I'm just throwing it out there if we want to put it on the record. If you guys don't think it's necessary, I'm good with that too.
No, I'd like to be on record. I would move that the chairman be authorized to pursue this project and find out from legal and prudential whatever else is necessary to implement a contract for this kind of study as soon as possible.
Second.
All those in favor?
Zano?
Conley? Yes, okay, great. Thank you, gentlemen. All right, what else do we have for old business? Okay, no more old business, we have new business.
So you're going to send around the deck for next week's meeting, is that
Yes,
just so we have a final?
yes, that's the email version, sent you on what was added
Right.
after the fact, yes. Sir.
Would you, if you like, I could also drop it into your folder right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do we have an obligation to publish that in advance, or is? I don't know, that we don't.
Obligation
made public at the meeting.
yeah,
Sorry, sir.
yeah, I say, I'm not sure the word obligation is appropriate, but I guess if we want to make it public, we think that'd be valuable in the village, why would?
Well, because I think at the last meeting, even though it wasn't a monthly meeting, we actually presented something, and then now we're talking about an update. I'm just wondering. You know what I mean?
Yes, you want to put it on the public?
Yep, I can put it on the, I'll put it.
More the better, let's get it out there so people can see it, that if they have prepared for questions ahead of time, I think it's a great idea.
All right.
Okay, so that's, any more old business? Okay,
Uh,
any new, Yep.
One more thing about this upcoming meeting. Is everyone alerted to the change of venue?
Yes,
we're here.
we're here at Freedom Hall, same time as I understand.
Right.
No, not at the same time, but at 6 o'clock, I think was the
Yeah,
appointed hour.
I do have a question. If I may, is what exactly is the title of this meeting? Because I need to make a posting, an OML posting that the three of you will be at that meeting. So
Is it on water? Is it on the credentials?
water is already posted. Okay,
Be at that meeting.
Hang on.
okay. I can look at waters too. So apparently water already put theirs up, but
Yeah.
I have it on my to-do list for tomorrow to make an OML posting.
Yeah, no,
Three of you.
perfect, thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, water was posted last week. They were way ahead of the game.
Good with that one, chief?
Yep, all set. I can, I'll either get it from Commissioner Zace or from Waters
I
posting.
did not see it posted on our,
On the town. So.
Okay.
the credentials. Website.
Okay, so I think we're good with that one, water, and we'll find it, but so that's old business is done. Any new business? I do not have any. Commissioner Pisano?
Nope.
Okay, Commissioner Zay said no more. Gentlemen, do you have anything else that should come up from new business?
No, sir.
Okay. Chief, can you check for public comments if you would?
Yes, sir. There is nothing in the email and nothing in the chat.
Okay. That being said, do we have any motions?
Move to adjourn.
Second,
All those in favor?
Pisano.
Zace?
Conley. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you all. Dave, thanks for
Good
joining.
evening.
Thank you for wearing such a lovely shirt.
Anything for you, for
I
all you
look
guys.
forward- Every month I look forward to it, Dave. So thank you. I truly do.
You have me for one more month, then I'll be passing the baton to a different member of the Civic Association. But I will be circling back around. I might even just show up in person one of these times.
Excellent. And pass on the standards that you have started with your shirt. So that'd be a good thing to pass
High level.
on. I love it. Thank you, sir. Have a
care,
great
buddy.
night. Thank you, everybody. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Good night, guys.